Beloved, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the SOE FUPA. We're going to go into detail on this. This has become my favorite summertime off-body carry. This solves a lot of problems for me. I touched on this last week, but some folks asked, can you show us how you set it up and some different examples or some ideas for us that might want to do the same thing. I know off-body is a little bit controversial, but if you're a grown-up like Proho is, you can deal with it. Just keep it on your person. This is what I carry. This is what I use daily. Let's set one up. Let me show you some holster options and different ways that you can carry it and use it. This is one of the most versatile pieces of kit I've ever owned. Some of our Christian fundamentalist friends have taken issue with the name FUPA. I would say to that, it is the language of the people. Grow up a little bit. You're so uptight, you do more harm to the gospel than you do good by acting that way. Have a little bit of fun, lighten up. Even the Almighty has a sense of humor. Did he not create us in his own image? This is basically my configuration. Now you guys know I love my airsoft. But having it on a holster in the summertime is problematic for me, especially if you're active, if you're around water, you like to fish, you like to kayak. This really is the solution. We've got two compartments here. In my main compartment, I don't like stuff in my pockets. I'm gonna have my wallet, you know, AirPods, whatever you do. You know, maybe a small pocket knife, whatever. Those non-essential, those non-life-saving things. These are more the conveniences, the day-to-day things, and what's contained in here in the main compartment is, well, it comes back to life safety. Now, I like to have a lightweight Kydex holster. This is from T-Rex Arms. It's ultra thin Kydex, so it doesn't take up a lot of space. This is just something I cannibalized off of my appendix carry holster, which doesn't work for me with a light on it. I want to have a light on it. I want to grab and go. I don't want to fiddle around when things get complicated. I don't want to have to deal with, you know, two different things. And having a light on your airsoft, you know, it's very important, especially in the wintertime when the lights are out. So if you want to do that like I do, you can see right here with a 19X, that fits perfectly. You can even get the extended base magazine in there, but it really does nicely like this. I've also, SOE, Special Operation Equipment, of course, John sent these to me, the best handmade nylon I've ever seen. Absolutely gives me the fizz. He's got some options as well. So here is kind of a two-loop carrier, and how I did it, it's nice to have a flashlight. You might say, well, I've already got a light on my airsoft. Why do I need that? Well, you don't want to have to take it off, or if you need to put a light on someone, you don't want to muzzle them. That could be problems. So I think it's very wise to have a backup light. I trust Surefire. This is my backup MV. Surefire or Streamlight would be the only two that I would really consider. Maybe Mod Light, but I do love Surefire. And I'm not a fan of rechargeable batteries. Yes, I have them, but I'll tell you, every time I grab one, it's dead. So I just stick with the CR123. I know it's going to work. Sometimes I don't remember to charge them. And then having an extra magazine, extra parts. You know, I've been to a lot of pistol courses, and I see a lot of dudes under stress drop their magazines on the ground. And what if it falls in a grate? What if it falls in the water? You need to have an extra magazine, because without this is useless. So I've always done that. Here is a single holster. I don't know what it is. You know, I think that might be T-Rex, or who knows? Something I cannibalized from a different application. But you can see it's the same thing, right? So very thin, very lightweight. This is going to cover the trigger guard and keep this secure. Now, having this flop around is not a good option. I was having it flop around at first, and twice I accidentally unzipped this too far. It opened up and it spilled out on the ground. So that's not going to work. So what we're going to do is I'll show you how to set this up securely with some Velcro. So we'll do this with the X300, because having a light already ready to go is everything. Now, well, I'll do this and then we'll cover some other options. If you go on Amazon or your local store and get some Velcro, this is 2 inches by 4 inches or something like that. And this is handy stuff to have around. You're going to have your hook and loop, both sides. Now already on our FUPA, we're going to have the loop side right there. That's all sewn in from the folks over at SOE. So all we need to do is find the hook side. Now, it's going to lay in here like this. These holsters are going to have all sorts of bumps and different things all over them. You just kind of have to figure it out, you know, how you can get the most surface area. This stuff sticks so well, you know, it's not really a problem. We're going to break out one of the best. This should be on, this is an essential EDC for Proho. Get your best 20 bucks you'll ever spend. But, you know, looking at this, it's going to lay in here like that. Oh, I had it upside down. No, is that right? Goodness. I am not smart. There we go. Goodness, I almost put it on backwards. So this is the side. So we have a pretty good area right here. Do we need to trim it? Yeah, probably. We don't want things to look sticking over the edge and looking bad. So yeah, I'd say right in here. Sure is nice to have a little knife with scissors on it. You'd be surprised how often you use these little scissors. And of course, they're excellent scissors. If your holster's not clean, wipe it down with isopropyl alcohol, and it will make the Velcro stick much, much better. And this is, you know, this stuff kind of form fits, so you just get the bulk of it. Start with the high spots, and then if you can kind of press it down, fill in those voids, it'll make contact. It's not a problem. Not a problem. And there, before you put it on, take another piece, and this way you can move it around. It's not going to be sticking on you, and then situate it how you want it, where it's not going to be bulging out, pushing on the side. And that little angle is very nice because as this sits in the front or on the chest, it gives you a good angle to easily slip out. Now, I also position these guys kind of towards the bottom for the reason that they do kind of fold up underneath in that void right there. And it's not sitting up on top of here and really being poofy. You don't want poofy, you want flat and compact, just like that. Mash that down in there, or remove your deal once you get where you like it. Mash that down in there, and now you have, this will be on your chest or right at your waist. You have a very easy presentation. You see I'm going with this? The SOE kit, John does some sort of pixie magic with these zippers. These zippers, I have had so much frustration with zippers. Most times they take two hands. These SOE zippers are really, really slippery, meaning they're just so easy to open. You know, perfect example here. If you just, my friend Overton showed me this, if you just put your fingers in here, leave a little bit of opening, I mean, they come off so easy. It always one-handed, even both sides. So this, with the draw tabs on it, one thing that I probably do that you can enhance these with, if you take some shrink tape, untie this, and shrink tape under the knot, it gives you a very rigid purchase point. They'll stick up a little bit, and you can make it red so you can easily identify it. And I do that on some of my stuff, and it's easy to grab. But that comes out easily, and even if it does come all the way open, the way we have it configured, you're not going to be dumping stuff on the ground, like that happened to me, because the holster it's secure enough. You can see there. Okay. I'll show you different ways to wear it. Before we do this, there's also some options here from SOE. Whoops. If you don't have a holster, or you want to just kind of keep it simple, and that is, he offers this pistol holder. This is adjustable for different sizes, and the magic there is that really thick scuba webbing. So you can see it's very rigid, very, very rigid. And a guy could take this and do similar thing, whatever works for you. And you can see you could easily contain this way as well. I am not using this. I tried it for a couple days, and my concern with a light is to get it tight enough where it feels like it's secure and not flopping around. And I'm not trying to get it too tight. I found that with the Surefire, it hangs up a little bit. It's a little bit difficult. Yeah, with training and practice, you can get it out. But man, sometimes I want to eliminate problems, and I don't feel real comfortable using this with the light. I don't know, maybe I'm making more of it. It seems to be working now, but your choice. But that is an option too. If you don't want to deal with the complication of the holster, we're gonna have the same thing. If this were to open, this is gonna definitely hold it secure. But either way, I think both ways are pretty good. Maybe John can chime in on the comments if I'm missing something. I'm not the expert on this. I'm always looking for solutions and what might work for you. Also, FSOE is going to offer individuals. So if you'd rather move things around a little bit, you don't have to have the double, the triple. You can set it up exactly the way you want it. But as for me, I like this setup here very well. Okay, let's talk about the different ways to carry. What's been working for me is just the cross body. You can see here there are multiple tabs. We'll set up, this can actually be a kind of a micro chest rig. And that's the way the other members of the warband are carrying it, especially on moto. It's particularly good for that if you want to have a kind of a hands-free option where you're going to be in a vehicle. But I like the grab and go, the sling, because I'm West Coast. I used to do bike messaging, you know, this appeals to me. But when I go out, when we went out, I took Mrs. W out for dinner last night. I have this on backwards, good grief. This is the way your mind goes to mush when you turn the camera on. This is the way I went out last night and how I do go out last night. So I usually carry the baby when we're crossing the road, getting out of the car, and I'll loosen this up and basically just carry it around towards the back. It gives me hands free. When I sit down, if I want to have access, you know, I keep this on me, I pull it up tight right here. I pull it up tight, right just like this, cross body, and I have really good access to it. I keep the zipper pulls on the top, and even if you could just leave a little gap right there, just stick your fingers in there and it's out. I mean, that zipper is so good. These are really good zippers. But that opens up, and even if it falls open, you can see nothing's gonna fall out. But I don't know that it needs to. If you can just get that down from about the 12 o'clock down to the 6 o'clock position, you know, you can even, you know, it's just, you don't necessarily want to be waving stuff around, you know, but it's always nice to have your hand on it. That's the quickest way if you're in a threat, or you might think that this is something that might need to come out. But you can see very easily it's a good presentation. You've got an extra magazine there that you can pull off of, and you've got the flashlight. So a very good system, and having the long strap, it's very flexible. You're going to be able to expand it if you're wintertime, if you're wearing a big puffy jacket. You can see the benefits. But I really like wearing it up high like this because it gives me access, kind of like a guide holster. Guide holsters, guys who wear 10 millimeters and such, elk hunting or bear hunting or up in dangerous country, kind of like that chest holster because it's easy to get to and you can wear it over bulky clothing. Let's configure this now for the micro chest rig. On a side note, there's also plenty of room. If you set up your ProHo radio kit, radio with the short antenna, there is plenty of room for a radio in there, and you can still see it's pretty compact. Okay, for the chest rig application, we're going to still use this here, but we're going to be adding the straps. John's provided these very high quality Fastech buckles, and you see the split in there? That's designed to go in these loops. This will easily fit in the front pocket. If you're going to be going back and forth between crossbody carry and more of a micro rig, it'll easily carry in there. I'd probably recommend that so you don't lose them. To put this on, I loosened the wide waist strap, and you can see here, just kind of make a cross there and just put your arms through it. And then the center, you just go right over the head. There's a lot of strap on this, and so you can adjust this over, like the guys that are using this on moto, you can adjust this over your chest protector, any body armor you might have. Now, I've got this riding low. I don't use this in this configuration very much, but you can adjust this down, you get it. But this wide strap, in the way that it's sewn up there here tight, it really comes around in a nice spot on your back, it makes it very secure. This thing is rock solid when you're on, even when you're on really rough terrain on a moto. I think John was saying that he developed this for guys that were doing kayaking and needed a solution, a hands-free solution in, you know, really athletic endeavors. But you get an idea right there. Of course, you can ride it however high you want, however low. You just have to adjust it up. But this is a very secure, basically a little micro rig right here. Now with the Velcro in there, you can imagine you can put anything you want to. You know, you could carry your, a little bit, back up here a little bit. You could carry fly fishing equipment. You could carry your lunch, you know. You can even, there's also these little loops that they've sewn in here that you can limit this. If you wanted to connect a small piece of paracord, you'd basically have a little workbench right here. And this would be really good as a former fly fisherman. This is something that you could use. It'd be very handy for fishing. To be able to have that shelf go down there and not overextend. So he gives you that option there. But you can, I think you can see the benefit and the versatility of it. If you don't want those cross straps anymore and you just want to grab and go really quickly and carry it kind of like I do in the crossbody, you know, that's really where it's at for me. Just take the straps off, reconnect that waist belt, and this is how I sling it. Just the best. Just the best. Right here. Now, if this challenges your masculinity, having a crossbody pack, or and this can be worn as a fanny pack as well, then you got bigger problems. You know, I think most of us are secure enough that whatever it takes. We're looking for solutions to problems here. We're not worried about what other people think. Proho does not worry about what other men less than him thinks about what he wears or what he does. We have problems to solve, and this is a solution. And who cares what anyone thinks? Goodness, can we not grow up? If you're a grown man and still getting in the comments about this and that, or you're not masculine, you're the one not masculine, my friend. That's never been a question around here. But that is the FUPA from SOE Equipment. Go over there, check it out. I'll put a link to John's site in the comment. Pin it to the comment in the subject. Prepare to wait. These are made by hand by real people in small batches, and the sooner you get on the waiting list, the sooner you're going to get one. So shout out to John at SOE, a great piece of kit, absolutely amazing. And if you didn't already know this, and I have to clarify, you can order it with a dangler option, meaning an extra piece of Velcro. He told me after that last video that this is not, you can get them both ways. So if you want this option to be able to have a dangler on a chest rig or a plate carrier, make sure you order that. If you don't need this, you'll just have that single panel on the back. So that's how I understand it. May God bless you and your families. Please keep us in your prayers, and we'll see you all on the next video.